All right, area 69 today, working on the A6 here. Really fun stuff. So the A6 has the V8 engine, right? And the V8s, these early V8s suffer from what's known as the infamous coolant pipe leak. This is the Buffkin pipe. I guess it's named after Jim Buffkin or Steve Buffkin, some Buffkin. And this is the metal replacement for what is plastic, which is wild. And that stuff, looking up here under the engine, way up in here, this is where we're having so much fun with it. And there's bolts that are like up behind stuff. It's like Audi calls for an engine out job on this one, I think, but people have figured out how to do it engine in, and that's what I'm doing. And it's basically working out, but it's a pretty frustrating little job. And I did strip a bolt already. So what a pain in the ass. And then you can see here, this is the diagram. See the diagram, this is what I'm working on. The Buffkin pipe is this one over here. See where it says 12, those are the O-rings. That's the Buffkin pipe right there. And that thing is just deep in the engine. And of course they used the softest Allen bolts possible in the most awkward locations. You can see up under here, these are the easy ones to get to, but they're just soft. And where's the one that I stripped out? This is the one that I stripped out up here. And at least that's kind of accessible, because the other ones are up behind there, way up in there, and there's just really no good access. This feels like deja vu. I don't know why. I'm not gonna do a full review of repairing this Buffkin, but some words of advice, and these have been said before. Because these bolts are so soft, you want to take your time, super take your time. And got a couple secrets here. So this is a belt tool. This really helps with leverage and getting into the tiniest places that these bolts live in. And then on top of that, this is a Mac bit, which is it's an 8 Allen hex head, but it also has incredible bite. And this thing has been really good because it bit on all of those bolts that I couldn't see. Gave me great purchase, and I was able to just carefully, slowly leverage them out. But you do have to kind of make a combination of little extensions and see what works for you. But the one biggest thing I can say is take your time, go with feel, take it slow, because like I said, I stripped one out and now I'm gonna have to cut that thing off or drill it or whatever I'm gonna have to do, which is gonna be a pain in the ass, but at least it's one I can see. If it was one of the ones that was up behind the oil cooler, I would be pretty screwed. Love and hate relationship with this mechanic stuff. I really hate when it goes wrong and you strip something, but I really love when you figure out how to solve the problem. So here I started by chiseling on this guy because it wasn't going to come out and it was stripped, and I chiseled it and I banged on it and I heated it, and then I thought about cutting it off, and when I found that it was still a difficult area to work a cutoff wheel in, I reverted to the extractor. So Mac 8mm Allen extractor that I showed earlier, and I thought maybe I'll just get back in there again and try. So I got it in there nice and straight, and I got some extensions on it, and I got the serpentine belt tool, so it's nice and skinny. But the real solution, the real thing that made it go, was the pry bar. All right, so this ended up being the setup here. So the pry bar, and then there's the serpentine belt tool, and I had extra body to help lever the pry bar while I worked the serpentine belt tool and loosen that off, and that was the secret. So my tip is, you know, the right tools for the right job. Take your time, but don't give up and don't drill a hole in the frame of your car just to get access. Yay! It came out. Perseverance and the right tools. So here's the buffkin that came out of there, totally in pieces. Looks like a really crappy root beer barrel, you know, plastic. So it just was disintegrating in its place. And yeah, that's why you want to replace it with metal. So as you're putting this thing back together, something to note is that the bracket for the motor mount to the subframe does have to line up, and there's like a 14mm hole up here. You can put a 14mm long socket in there, and you gotta make sure that the 3 holes on the subframe and the mount for the motor mount, the bracket, all line up, and then you can tighten these down. And so here, the long one that goes into the subframe, this should probably be, what, I think it's like 85 Newton meters plus 90 torque to yield. And since I'm reusing this one, I just went with 80 Newton meters plus 45. And so just to be careful. And then these 2 little guys here, these 2 little guys, there you go, you can see them right there and there. Those 2 go to 75 Newton meters, not any torque to yield. And this is the spot. You can line that up. And that's how you do that. So those are my tips for this repair on the buffkin. Take your time, use the right tools. You know, one of those bolts took me like an hour and a half because I was just trying to get the right combination of socket to get, you know, nice and straight, and, you know, spaces at a premium in there. So, you know, those tools, the serpentine belt tool, different size socket extensions, and those really good Mac or similar extracting Allen key tools, all that stuff. Without that, the job can get really ugly, but with it and patience, the job is pretty simple. I'm putting a link in, or a couple links in the description here of other people's jobs, because there's other videos about how to do this job, and I didn't want to make another video about it. And while I got in here, it just occurred to me that there are these key things that people should know about the job so they can save themselves a lot of trouble. So anyway, friends, thanks for checking it out, and we'll catch you on the next one.